Hi guys, I'm back again with another video. On this video, I'll be basically doing the market breakdown for US30 gold, Euro USD, USD Swiss francs, and depending on how long we are into it, and then we might jump into USD CAD. So I hope everybody is good. I'm good. So let's get to the point, right? So we have US30 in front of me, right? So we can just zoom out so that we can see the charts quite clear. Right, so we can see that the US30 is currently on a bearish trend, because if you would remember from the past videos or the past analysis, you would remember that US30 was somewhere around about here and we saw a nice double bottom. So it was still continuing with those buys, right? So this is what is currently happening. If I can just zoom closer. So it was this double bottom that we saw, but at that time, I drew these trend lines like that, right? Which is first and second touch, and then I did talk about the importance of a third touch. But now we're just going to adjust it a little bit like that, right? So you can see at the bottom, we also good, okay? So let's drop it to the 4-hour time frame. So dropping it to the 4-hour time frame, guys, right? You can already see that on the higher time frame, we're in a bearish trend, okay? So we can just mark now our areas, right? So we got the buys, okay, that's fine. But the current high that we have previously is that one over there, right? Because that's our previous high. And then I do notice the fact that we had this corrective pattern, which is a bearish, it's a bullish continuation flag, right? But there's no necessarily a point in drawing it, right? Because we're not necessarily going to use it. So that's why I was reluctant to draw it, but we can keep it for now. And then our previous low is that one over there. So we can just have a line there, okay? So we can just erase this for now, just for, okay, let's keep it, it's fine. Let's keep it, it's fine. Right, let's just keep it, and then we can now zoom in, okay, so that we can be clear on what's happening. So as you can see, ever since that double bottom or the breakout here, the market has been moving high highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it may not necessarily go to the top such that it approaches that previous high. That trend line is also acting as a resistance. So it may be enough for the market to get to that resistance, which is it may get there like that and then end up being a sell, okay? Right, but for now we're still playing between that trend line and also this previous low. So in case the market might be forming a double bottom, so we might be having that day, right? But if you're looking to sell, it depends on how comfortable are you, right? And depending on what you're looking for, as we look for different things. But if the market end up going to the upside, then we would like to see how is it going to react when it gets to that trend line. Is it going to reject from that trend line if it goes up, or is it going to reject from that resistance? However, if it's going to sell, then we'll be looking for sells below the support level, because that's how we're going to know that the resistance has been, the support has been turned into support. But let's drop it to the lower time frames. So dropping it to the lower time frames, like I said, that's been moving in high highs and high lows. So if we look left, let's see. So if we look left, we just might be having, which is that's the current previous high that we have, except for that one, because that's our overall high, right? So now the market, if you focus on the current price, is basically acting between that resistance and the support level. So it's kind of like consolidating. So the market or the price action now is between like that. So it might do this up until it finally gives us a clear indication whether it's going to break up to the top or is it going to break out to the downside, right? So it just depends on you. But for now, US30 is currently consolidating, which is we can buy the support and also sell the resistance. or rather wait for the breakout on either side of the market. Okay, so that's basically what I see on in here, right? As you can see, support resistance. So yeah, if this is an impulse move, then it's correcting towards the top, then this is where we might get the sells to the downside. However, if it end up breaking, because that would mean that this is a bullish rectangle, which is this is a yeah, it will be a bullish rectangle based off the fact that if it breaks up to the upside. So this is what you call a bullish consolidating market, which is if it ends up breaking up to the upside, then that's how we're going to know that the market is approaching this trend line or that resistance. Okay, so it's just a matter of saying what's going to be the market reaction at that resistance and also at the support level, right? So you can just wait for that. So just quickly going back now to gold. So let's check what's happening on gold. So yeah, guys, this is what is happening on gold, right? So just gonna do that. So on gold, guys, we have the support, if you still remember that support level. And then we're also playing between that resistance, right? So the market is playing between the support and that resistance. So it's moving from currently correctively towards that support level. So we can again draw the trend lines like we did. So you would see, guys, that video if you watched the previous market breakdowns, right, which is that we had something like this before in the past and the market is still playing in it. So this is what we have currently. We can see that we are inside a bearish correction, but sooner or later we might have what? A reversal. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly zoom in just so we be clear on as to what's currently going on here, right? So as you can see at the top, we have that resistance trend line. Then we also have at the bottom the supporting trend line. Right, so we're just gonna zoom in now, so because it's the current price that's important. So as you can see, we have this correction, which is we broke out of it. All right, and then we can have it like that. And then we also have this low, sorry. We also have this supporting trend line over here. And also that one over there. Okay. Right, so for now we can erase this one because it has already played this part. So we are in here as of now, right? So what's happening here is on the overall structure, we are at a bearish channel of flag, right? But for now the market has been moving in what? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So if we end up going to the top, then we might be going there to get a third touch before we come back down, right? So that's what I see happening here. And then we also have some minor support level that we previously had over here. So if we drop it to the 1 hours, right? So on the H1, this is what is happening. Okay, because remember, guys, the price gets clear and clear as you dive into lower time frames, right? Because an impulse on a higher time frame might be a clear correction on a higher time frame. Anyways, guys, those are news updates, right? So it's my FX books and extension. So it's basically notifying me if there are news events, but I don't trade the news, but it's just for me to be up to date or just know what's happening fundamentally, right? So, but it's not news that we're going to work with. Yeah, man. So that's Switzerland. I'm not sure what that country is at the bottom, but anyways, so here, guys, this is what we have. Okay, we then have no, it doesn't make sense. So this is what we have. I would rather draw it like that. Okay, and then we can clone it. And then, yeah, this is what we have in overall, meaning that if this is an impulse move, so this is a correction. So now that we've broke out, we might be getting what, a retest, which is at this previous low over here. So this is what is happening, meaning that this is an impulse move, it's a correction. So we have managed to break out impulsively. So for me on gold, as I said, that if this is an impulse move, this is a correction. So what is next? A breakout and a retest. So that candle might be acting as a retest before we get to those buys to the upside. All right. So that's what I see on gold, guys. That's what I see on gold. Yeah, it's basically the same thing on the 15-minute time frame, that we have managed to break out impulsively, got the retest, so we might just be headed back to the top right now. So I'm anticipating buys on gold, guys, meaning that this is most likely where we are headed to target that, and then stop loss just might be around about here. So that's 6%. And then up until that trend line, of course, if it ends up going all the way, and then you would have that as our turning points, because that's a turning point sensitive area. And then that's the ultimate one, right? So that's the ultimate one over there. Right, so that's the ultimate level over there, which is we have that, and also that one over there. So let's move forward now. Let's move forward, guys. Let's move forward. So let's check Euro USD. Let's check Euro USD. Let's check Euro USD. So let's start on the higher time frame. Yeah, so this is what we have on Euro USD. This is what we have on Euro USD. Right, so this is what we have on Euro USD. Okay, sharp. So we have this bearish trend. Right, we have this bearish trend on Euro USD, and then we have it like that. Okay, guys, so we can clearly see that the touches make sense. However, there's something that I want us to be cautious of here, right? In as much as this is a bearish trend, and we can see that the Euro USD has been moving in impulses, corrections, impulse correction, impulse correction, and many more, right? So it's a bit tricky here as to what's currently going on here, because if that's how we're supposed to draw the trend line, then this might be a retest, meaning that we might go to the upside, right? However, if that's a fake out, then if this is how we're supposed to draw it, then that would mean Euro USD will be respecting this past price action, which is this might be an impulse move, then this might be a correction, then waiting to go to the downside, right? But for now, let's just keep it like that. Right? So let's drop it to the 4 hours. So on the H4, guys, right? So this is what we have. So if that's it, that's an actual breakout, then that means this point is acting as a retest. Then we will be headed to the upside, right? Meaning that it will be something like that. So we'll be targeting that previous high. So we're just going to put it a little bit back now and just focus on what's going on. So what I see happening here is we have this 3 touch at the top, right? Those 3 touches. Then we also have these touches at the bottom, right? Then we're just gonna draw it like that. Remember, guys, it does not have to be perfect. If the touches don't touch, they don't touch. Don't try and force things here, guys, right? So this is how I would draw it for me. And then if we look left, you would understand that at some point we have a sensitive area over here, right? Which is that's acting as a support, resistance. Then it was broken here, resistance. Then we are above it now, so it's acting as a support level. However, if Euro USD ends up being a sell, then this is where it might be headed to. And then if it ends up breaking out, and then we already know that we're targeting that area, right? So that's what I see. And then these trend lines, we can just put them a little bit back for now and just focus on the actual structure of the market, right? So let me drop it now to the, so another thing that we would have here is this trend line over here, right? But it's going to be clear on the 1 hour time frame, okay? So yeah, sorry, on the 1 hour time frame. So dropping it to the 1 hour time frame, guys, right? And we have that. So if Euro USD is to go to the upside, that will happen in this case, right? So if you look at this, if this is an impulse move, then this is a correction, right? So what's next is continuations to the upside. So that's what I see, because after every impulse move, we get a correction. And that's a nice breakout, guys, in terms of how it broke out, because I'm saying it's a nice breakout simply because he broke out impulsively, right? So I'm also anticipating the likelihood or the probability of Euro USD being a buy. And then also that will be our ultimate take profit level. And then this being the second one over there, because those are the key areas, right? And then we also have a support level here that Euro USD is currently retesting, right? And it also printed a nice pin bar over there to signal that if we end up going to the upside, then this is how we're going to know that, okay, sharp, the market is indeed going to the upside, because candlesticks, guys, we use candlesticks as confirmation we use candlesticks for confirming what we already see in the market, right? But for me, this is how I would look at Euro USD, which is the likelihood of buying opportunities to the upside. Okay, so dropping maybe to the 15-minute. Right. So on the 15-minute, we broke out, came back for a retest. So what's happening now? The market gave us a bullish engulfing candle. So we really might be headed to the upside. Right. So let's move on now to the one that is negatively correlated with Euro USD. So let's see, guys. Let's see. All right. So let's start on the daily time frame. Right. So on the daily time frame, guys, you would also remember the structure from the previous analysis. So you can see that we are currently at a resistance, and then we have also the support level. So in other words, USD Swiss is currently consolidating, right? So it's failing to break above that resistance, okay? So then we have those touches at the top, okay? And we also have this one over here, right? So beautiful, okay? Then we also have this sensitive area over there, right? Where we might get to the third touch of the trend line, right? So let's just, okay. So let's drop it to the 4 hours, guys. So dropping it to the 4-hour time frame, you would understand why the market is currently rejecting, right? Then we might also have another trend line over there, so that if the markets end up coming down, retesting, then this is where we're coming. Then if it end up so, then that's where we're going, right? So that's what I see, guys. And then currently, I think it's clear as of now, because you would see that we're currently rejecting from that level. And if this is an impulse move, then this might be a correction, then the continue. Excuse me. So that would be continuation of sales to the downside. So let's see what's going on. So yeah, guys, we can have that. So we have a bearish continuation flag, if that's a true breakout, right? So we have managed to break out, guys, right? I think this is clear for me. I don't have to go into the 15-minute time frame, because this is an impulse move. This is a correction. The market broke out impulsively, so we might get the retest, maybe, I don't know, then head up to the downside. But I would say where we most likely headed to is sells to the downside. So this is what I'm saying here. We're looking at that, then stop loss at least there, and then this is the target. Okay, yeah, guys. So this is what I see on USD Swiss francs. So that's it from me, guys. We've reached now the end of the video, and I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. So if you watched up until the end, please just do me a favor, go down here, subscribe, and also comment down below if you have anything to say. Tell me, what are you analyzing, what you're looking at. I will definitely see you on the next video.